put yourself in scary situations.
Today, I have a location-independent entrepreneur.
Do it anyway.
She's here to share her journey.
What's the worst thing can happen? You die, probably, right?
Her name is Michelle Marrie.
I was homeless. I slept in the streets for a few days. Today, I'm a location-independent entrepreneur.
Would you mind walking us through kind of what your childhood looked like?
I became a rebel. I was a teenager, I was a rebel. If you want to be a top athlete, why are you hanging with people who are eating at McDonald's, right? Actually, you're never done.
Maybe Instagram looks amazing and you're
Yeah.
living this incredible life.
Exactly.
But it's very true that I think that you can find yourself feeling a little bit lonely.
Yeah.
Gladiators, welcome back to another episode of In the Arena, and today I have a location-independent entrepreneur. Her name is Michelle Marrie, and she's here to share her journey, her tips for all of you aspiring entrepreneurs, and I can't wait for you to hear her amazing story. Welcome.
Well, thank you. What a beautiful intro.
Of course. Marie, before we go in, I know we touched a little bit on like your childhood, and I think it's really important that when understanding a person, understanding their context. So would you mind walking us through kind of what your childhood looked like and how that maybe transformed you into the person that you are now?
Absolutely. You could be Dutch, actually, how direct you are. Straight into the interview asking this. But speaking about Dutch, like I grew up in the Netherlands in a very small town, which is literally called Weert, W-E-E-R-T. You would say like Weert. And it is between Belgium and Germany.
Okay.
And I grew up in an environment with actually a lot of poverty. My father was heavily alcoholic and my mom was a drug addict, and they were dealing with a lot of challenges actually themselves, so they were not fully able always to take care of themselves, which made it very hard for them to focus on children.
Yeah.
When I grew up actually in a household being exposed to these kind of circumstances, I saw at a very young age that we were different. I realized when I grew up in class, or I went to school, and then I went over for a play date with a classmate, that the parents were not fighting, that there was, like the house looked normal, or they went on a holiday, or they had a car, and we didn't have that. It was always very chaotic and a little bit of a violent environment, unsafe actually for children. And when I was old enough, around 12, 13 years old, I really realized like, this is not okay and this is not normal. And my mother actually got heavily abused by my father, and I had to witness that as a child. And I've seen so many things that a child should not see, that I told my mom, like, if you stay a day longer with him, like, I will take action, I will fight. And I think that woke up my mom and realized this is not healthy for me, not for my children. We were actually disconnected from all our family. No one wanted to deal with us. We were like in a small, isolated family of four, me, my sister, and my father and mother. And she decided basically to leave him. And but what happened then was interesting. My father moved around the corner and he became worse, like really psychotic and like hallucinating, and very, very bad. And my mom was 27 years with my father, and it's the sweetest woman ever. But she never really had a youth. So she was young, met my father, then broke up, and then she thought, hey, second youth.
Yeah.
So she started exploring her life in a actually not a healthy way. Many partners, also from a certain social economical class. Everyone was unemployed, drug dealers, Hell's Angels, this kind of stuff. And me growing up in that, again, I saw like, this is not okay, this is unsafe. Until my mother got a partner that really screwed things up actually, and made it extra unsafe. And I saw that it was not healthy, and I started being very, how do I say that? I became a rebel. I was a teenager, I was a rebel. You could not stop me. Like in class, all the teachers were like, oh my God, she's coming in, right? So because my parents couldn't take care of me, when a teacher wanted to tell me, do this, I'm like, who are you? My mom?
Yeah.
Shut up. Like no one should tell me what to do. So I became very rebellish. And then, so my then stepdad He was also like abusive and violent, and he did things to my mom and sister that I didn't accept. So what he decided is, when I was 14 years old, he kicked me out of the house. Literally, I stood up against him, and then he literally dragged me on my arm outside. He kicked me out of the door. In the Netherlands, in the poor areas, people live very close on each other. So it was a lot of like yelling and violence, and the whole street, everyone went out, seeing like what is happening. And he kicked me out. He's like, yeah, go out, never come back. And then my mom came. I was like, Mom, this is not okay. I'm your daughter. And she said, go, I can't do this anymore. So she kicked me out as well, which made me homeless. And I slept in the streets for a few days, realizing I can't do this, obviously. And I ended up going to my father, which was heavily alcoholic and psychotic. So also being there, he was this psychotic that he kicked me out as well. He really thought that I wanted to harm him with people that literally didn't exist.
Yeah.
So he kicked me out. I ended up in the streets again, and then I moved actually from friends to friends' place, like on the couches with friends. And in the Netherlands, you have child service and child protection. So they saw, and also in school, like, wow, this girl is a very unstable environment. So basically, they took me out of that situation, and after that, I grew up in different government institutions, like groups for kids who are homeless. And that is actually, I think, where my journey really started until where I am today, because I started observing everything around me. At a very young age, I realized, like, okay, if you want to be, if you want to grow, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be happy, this is not how you should do it. When I ended up living in a house with 23 homeless youngsters between 14 and 23 years old, everyone's unemployed, on drugs, like the lowest of the lowest in society, basically. I looked around me, I was like, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to end up like this. Everyone got pregnant when they were around 16, all my friends. And I'm like, hell no. And I never knew how life could look like. I never knew exactly what to do. I knew only I had to get out. So I started really observing parents of my friends who had a normal upbringing. I started connecting with teachers a lot and seeing like how they have healthy communication and what it did to me and how I reacted to them. And then I started seeing a pattern like, wow, it is all about the people that you surround yourself with. If you feel good or miserable, if you see opportunity, or you feel that you're stuck. And of course, at that age, I couldn't describe it like now. But looking back, I realized that was for me really a breakthrough. Like, I need to get out. I don't know where, but I need to get out there. And I think like that journey made me who I am today. And if you look at it, since 14, I have been moving place. Today, I'm a location-independent entrepreneur. I've been fully, like, let's say, nomadic in the last years, traveling around the world, like in the most amazing places on earth that people are jealous of, and building a business. But at a certain point, I feel like a little bit more grounding. So today I live on Madeira Island. I travel a lot, still 5-6 months a year. But I live in a banana plantation in Madeira Island. Amazing. I love like cruisy and jungle-ish. And then like now I'm very careful with the people that I surround myself with. I need to really get the energy. And if I see people have a certain mindset, like the people that where I'm from, I'm like, thank you, love you, but no. And I need to continue. So I hope that answers a little bit of your question.
Definitely does. And I have to ask, like, the one thing I did notice is when you're kind of recapping that story, I mean, that's a heartbreaking story, but you say it with kind of peace and calm, if I were to say that. How, I mean, that's so much for a child to endure. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I was going to ask you if you had siblings. I can just imagine just how much work it would take to be able to look back at that and just be calm. How did you even begin to start reflecting on it? Because I think that a lot of people, maybe in similar circumstances, one, wouldn't have had that aha moment and said, like, I need to get out of this. Two, wouldn't be able to look back on it and not feel negative feelings again. I feel like obviously it's a sad story,
Yeah.
but I feel like you've got a lot of peace with it at the
Yeah.
moment. So
Yeah.
how do you get to that point?
Wow, that's a great question. And I think actually you're never done. Like, there are, like now I'm in a really good place, but all of us, we have moments that we feel down, right? Things happen in your life. You have a heartbreak, your hormones, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And then you feel a bit low and these things come back. So it's part of who I am. It's in my DNA. The only way what I've learned is to cope better with it and to train my mind and the way how I look at it. And I think the biggest work I've been doing is actually when I had to choose for a direction with my studies, when I still lived in the Netherlands, at a very young age, I had to choose, like I go to, like choose for business or for healthcare, and I chose social work. I chose to work with kids who were homeless, who were in prison, who were living in institutions, actually like myself. And you see that a lot with kids who come from a situation like that, after that they want to help.
They want to do it again.
They want to, you understand what the kids are in. So going through that situation at first, that is a massive therapy. Because you see, like when you are, I was very young when I started studying that when I was like, I think 18, 19, and I did that until I was 25, 26. But when you study that at such a young age, you see already like, okay, now I'm 18, 19, and I have a client or a kid that I'm mentoring or helping. I had that job. I stopped working in prisons and the special schools, and I moved to South America when I was 25 for 5 years in Suriname, in the former Dutch colony. And there I got a lot of struggles with my past because I moved away from the Netherlands. I left my parents there. I was building a career. I was at a very young age becoming director of an educational institute for security and safety risk management trainings. I built 5 KFCs and 3 Pizza Huts and
amazing.
So I was like career-wise growing, but I had a big identity crisis. Like, okay, I'm a very poor girl. I come from a very low socio-economical class, but I'm going there and I felt guilty and I felt a lot of different things. And then I was excited and I picked up the phone and I called my father and then he was drunk. Or my mom never replied, or all these things. And I was so sad, and I cried a lot in that period. And then actually the business partner of my boyfriend back then, he saw me very sad often. And then he told me, and that was something I never forget. And actually I couldn't get along really with the guy. But this thing is the best thing he ever done to me. I was very sad. One day we're sitting at the table and he said, Michelle, you know what it is? Your parents are elephants. You see your parents as elephants. And you expect elephants to fly. And in a fairy tale like Dumbo, Jumbo, whatever, like the Disney story, it can be. But does it, like in reality, they can't fly. So every time you visit your parents or you call your parents, you hope they're flying. You hope you're good. You hope they will give you the support that you are craving for. But every time you go there or call them, you don't get it, you're disappointed. So it's all about expectations, right? And that helped me really having more peace with like, okay, I look at my parents and like, wow, I feel actually so much compassion with where you're from and what you do and with everything that you have. You did the best you could. And looking back, the generation before us, right? Like people who grew up in the 50s, 60s. My father was an immigrant. He was the first brown person that came to the Netherlands. He came on boats from Indonesia, 3 months on the boat. And then literally he explained to me that he arrived there, he was adopted, that white people came up to me touching his skin, like, oh, you're brown, you're a monkey, you're living in the trees, right? You eat with your feet. And then he got abused by his parents, and he didn't know who his real parents was. So like so much identity crisis. And from the war, there was war in Indonesia. So understanding him, he couldn't do better. And it's actually very special that we're talking about it today, because today, exactly a year ago, my father passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like 1 year exactly, and it's actually very special that I can share the story here, and I hope that he sees it and is now proud. I have the feeling that he has more peace. But going through these processes as you get older, conversations with other people, that really helped, and also becoming a business owner, an entrepreneur, because I think entrepreneurship is the biggest mirror that you can have in your life.
Mhm.
Probably children as well. I don't have children yet, so I do not know how that would feel. I hear from people it's also a big mirror. But in entrepreneurship, your business, your team, your clients, they reflect to you what you do, what you vibe, you know. And if you're not focused, you also get like messiness. So it forces you to constantly reflect. And if you go in stress times or panic mode, you actually jump into like back in time. What I've seen with myself, you do a lot of things. You cope with stress. the way
Those survival behaviors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, like the biggest therapy for sure was having a business.
Yeah.
And also, and it's another interesting topic, that you know, then the bigger question, like why I'm so ambitious or driven or always keep going. It's also to cover things up, right? It's also sometimes like you don't, like I'm so focused, I want to prove I can do it. I'm never vulnerable, I'm very in my masculine energy.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm a woman and I like to look as a woman, but I'm like, I don't need anyone.
Yes.
You know, I can do it. I don't need anyone's money, and I'll fix it for everyone around me. And that is like really a survival mechanism that I thought to myself. So I'm very conscious, I'm very aware, and for anyone who has like also dealt with like a tough upbringing that is breaking them when they get older, it's putting yourself constantly in tough situations, because there you need to, you get forced to pick yourself up and become better every day. The easiest is, I have to, like a few times a year to be honest, like, you know what, let's do easy, like my friends back home, let's get a job, let's get all the security, you know, live in the Netherlands, I find a husband, get 2 kids, and have the standard life and a pension and all these things. That's easy. But I know for sure that I would never have learned as much about myself as I did today. And that is the best thing you can do, is like put yourself in scary situations, do it anyway. What's the worst thing can happen? Like you die, probably, right? But mostly that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. So all the bad situations, the things that we think about, like 99% doesn't even happen.
Yeah.
Right? You can try. You fuck it up. It's part of my French.
You can swear. It's
okay, great. But then, yeah, you learn. And then the last thing, like what I also did, I would not like recommend it to everyone or so, but I did plant medicine.
Okay.
Like ayahuasca, and there's kind of more like spiritual journeys.
Wow.
To really, let's say, find myself, what you hear. And I got very intrigued by that, because I met many entrepreneurs who did that as well in their lives. And what I found, many people who did it were very special people, very nice, very conscious entrepreneurs, very, very humble, successful, but understanding what I've saw, what I've seen in the ayahuasca is like, this is not it. Everything you're seeing here, if you look around you, we're in a studio, we're having this conversation, it's going to be on YouTube, it's going to be, you know, but I believe, and what I've seen, that is not it. And I hope that no one thinks I'm crazy. But there's so much more that we cannot wrap our brain around, and there's like, we all go in a certain frequency, energy, and, you know, like let's say with a plant medicine, trying that out, you just sometimes get shaken up, like, hey, hello, the thing that you're thinking that you are, oh, I'm a poor girl from the Netherlands, I'm sad, I'm broken, I thought that a long time. It showed me literally, and I even have a tattoo on my hand on it. Everyone thinks that says AI, but it's IEL, because I love AI a lot. But I tattooed even here, I am love. And it showed me, I did it multiple times, that I literally am love. There's nothing else. That is all we are and need, and we all are. And that's for me, it helped me to confirm that I am not broken, I'm not bad, I'm not, you know, fucked up. I came from a certain situation. I'm a physical presence here of a certain energy, and I need to have as many experiences as possible to live on the highest frequency and be able to help other people. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you mentioned, like, I just have to say, because I think, and we touched on it briefly before the cameras came on, but I did mention that I think a lot of successful people, successful entrepreneurs, they all have this pattern of going through something that was really painful.
Yeah.
And then that kind of drive for success is to get them away from that situation to begin with.
Yeah.
But I also can't help but notice that, you know, you mentioned that you were a difficult child. You were kind of like, why should I listen to you or tell you what to do?
Yeah.
I think that's also a really important element when it comes to being an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Is just not accepting the no and finding alternative solutions.
Exactly.
And as tough as, you know, circumstances may be, everything does happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And it has shaped you into the person that you are now. Took you, like, you know, as you said, it was quite difficult, and obviously you went through some rough patches as well.
Yeah.
And I can relate to the expectations versus reality when it comes to your parents, because I think that we have this built idea of what a parent should be.
Yeah.
And then when we're met with the reality of it, you can't help but get disappointed. So I mean, your story just is incredible. And I think that it's just living proof that it really doesn't matter where you come from. Like, there's always something that you can bring with you that will serve you from those moments. And I just thank you for sharing the ayahuasca journey. I would love to talk so much more about that. I was having this conversation with somebody else the other day. Yeah. And I was like, I just feel like at least once in my life, I have to experience it for myself. I feel that the way people talk about it, it sounds like some sort of profound spiritual journey. Yeah. I'm like, I just have to experience that for myself, even if I'm just throwing up the entire time.
I mean, you will hear everyone making weird sounds and throwing up and having orgasms and yelling, and like you have no clue what is happening around you. But like, if you want to shake things up, yeah. But you need to feel really, when you're ready. They always say, like, it calls you when ayahuasca calls you. And literally, like, I heard about it years ago, and I was curious, but I was afraid of it because it's scary, right? You go in another dimension. And I stopped thinking about it. And 2 years ago, I was in Estonia, in the north of Europe, next to Russia, for 2 months in a forest. Like, the most quiet place on earth. And I, like, literally, I got nuts of the silence. Like, this I don't know if you ever heard the sound of silence, but I had so much silence that my ears started hurting. And then I got panic, and I'm like, I need to get out. I need to go to the city. Like, I can't do this anymore. I thought, like, I'm a very nature person, but it was too much. And then I couldn't leave. Yeah. And then I was forced to stay there, and it was a very good thing, because I surrendered. I was sitting there looking at the forest, hearing nothing, literally. And out of the blue, I was not thinking about it, and I was not hoping. I didn't think about it for years. I was just sitting, looking at the forest. Ayahuasca. It came up. Yeah. And I'm like, huh? And literally, I grabbed my phone, Googled ayahuasca Europe. Yeah. I was in Europe. And then I found, like, in Tenerife in Spain, in the Spanish islands. And I just called up the guys. Can I do it? Yeah.
Come on.
Booked. And then I flew from there to... So random.
Amazing.
But that brings the magic in life. Yeah.
And I wanted to ask just quick, like, a little bit more about your family. You mentioned that you have a sister. Yeah. Do you have a good relationship with her now? Yeah. And your mother as well? Is that still kind of... Yeah. Okay.
It's never been better.
Okay, great. Yeah. Amazing.
It's never been better. I'm very, very happy. It was very different back in the days. So also my mom, when I was 15 years old, my mom moved to the Caribbean with the stepdad that kicked me out of house and took my sister away. So I haven't had contact with them for 5 years. I was very disturbed, very broken. My sister got heavily abused by him. So we were really, like, disconnected. Separated, indeed. And now, after all this year, like, the guy is obviously away. My sister also, like, they moved back to the Netherlands from the Caribbean. And I was living in the Netherlands then, but then after that I moved myself to the Caribbean, or to Suriname, to South America. And my sister then went to the Netherlands, and she did her studies. She became a midwife. Amazing. Then she got a partner. She bought a house. She had a cat. She would get a kid and all these things. But she felt also within her, like both of us have that, like we're travelers, we're more exotic, we want to see the world and experience it. And she felt stuck. But then in the meantime, I already was building my business. So I did all these entrepreneur retreats and like a very beautiful destination, people who built like crazy businesses. And then I saw she was stuck. I was like, listen, I want you to join my retreat. I was like, no, it's not for me. I was like, this can change your life because you will see how people design their lives and design work, right? There's not one way of doing it. And I don't have money, and I didn't want to give it to her for free, just because she would not appreciate it. Like, I don't care about the money, would not make me rich or poor. But I was like, okay, like, I don't know, the retreat was like 2.5K. I was like, okay, 500 euros. And it was hard for her, 500 euros. And then, like, just join. And she did. And then she came out and she's like, I think I want to break up with the guy. I want to quit my job. I want to sell my house. I want to move to Madeira. She didn't directly. She stayed there. But then she came as a volunteer to my bigger event, Nomad Island Fest, where she met one of my team members then, or freelance that I work with, Andrea. And she fell in love. But I told everyone, don't touch my sister. She's very cute. And all the guys like, oh, Michelle's sister. Well, Andrea found her, and they fell in love.
Amazing.
She broke up, moved to Madeira, and then she started working with me. So she worked in my business actually for a while. He as well, and recently we stopped. She wants to work with him. He has an NGO, and like she had to go through this journey, and I am so happy that I've built this to show her how life can be. She can now choose. In the meantime, my mom grew up, like she's 70 now. Let's say between her 65th years old and 70, she became from teenager to adult. She had a really tough time actually herself, and my mom smoked heavily weed on a daily basis, like heavily, a few grams, for 50 years.
Wow.
And she stopped smoking weed a year ago.
Oh, wow.
And getting rid of all the toxic people, and like very bad things happen, and all unemployed people, and just like using her, abusing her, like she had like homeless people living in her house. She has no boundaries, and with the kindest heart. But then I brought her to Nomad Island Fest, and that also changed her life. I brought her on stage. I told my story, so that was such a profound moment to tell people, like, I come from here. I was homeless. I was not in touch with my mother for a long time, and she's now here, and I can tell the story. I've been through shit. But now I have people flying in from all around the world to attend my events. And she was on stage with me, and she cried, and like, wow, she never been on a stage, she never been in luxury or all these things. So now, since that moment, I send her courses, I send her books and personal development and motivational quotes. Amazing. And Tony Robbins, like all these things, and workbooks, and she changed 360 degrees, like massively. I stayed with her for the last week. I came from her. I was 2 weeks at a place. This was the best time I've ever had with my mom.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Ever. I never thought that I would ever experience this. Now only, I'm 37 years old, I experience how it is to be a child with a sober, healthy mom, and how nice it is. And I have to admit that something shifted within me then, and then I saw how important it was that I went through all this shit, because when I was with my mom the last 2 weeks, she was so good and healthy and fit, and she was really pampering me. I was working all day, I'm allowed to making food, like she always did it, like making food and taking care of me, but she was a nice person to be around, which was in the past very tough, very bitter, very, very negative, and now she's like pretty positive, and I'm like, this is so nice. You should stay here. It's like, shall I move in with my mom? Why would I build a business and go to Dubai and travel the world? Why, I have everything here. So it was also an interesting thing, and it's beautiful that we're talking about it now, and actually I was thinking about it yesterday, that I got comfortable very fast when I was in a healthy relationship with my mother, that I felt less ambitious. Yeah. Because the pain, what you just said, pushed my ass to do things, right? Like, hey, you need to, or else you will end up like this. And now I'm like, oh, it's actually pretty comfortable. Should I move back in the Netherlands and just get a job? Yeah. But then I forced myself to go to Dubai. I'm like, no.
I also think, though, as well, and we brought this up earlier, I think that you're very much someone who, like, the masculine is driving.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm going to look after myself. I'm going to, you know, do what I need to do. And I think maybe having someone do that for you was like healing that inner child part.
Yes.
So I think, I mean, I would get comfortable as well, you know, but still that drive, just reminding you.
Yeah.
So I think there was a little bit of like maybe some inner child healing, and it's
for
nice
sure.
for that
So
reverse where like that masculine doesn't need to be as like domineering.
Exactly.
So I think that's definitely why. But I'm so glad that you've mentioned, you know, I mean, I'm really happy for you. The fact that you were able to reconnect with your mom and the way that you and your sister's relationship has developed as well. I think that's really special. So amazing. And I think that comes from the fact that you were able to be so compassionate as well.
Yeah.
I think if maybe you weren't so compassionate towards them, you wouldn't have been able to reconnect. Because I think you still would have been looking at it with a lot of like bitter kind of feelings.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that this kind of was facilitated through what you do and what you do for other people as well.
Yeah.
And I'd love to talk about how you even where this idea kind of came from and how you got started.
Yeah, like with my current business, you mean, right? Oh, wow. So it all started actually with me when I was, this is 8 years ago already. Jeez, I'm getting old. So when I was 29, I lived in Suriname in South America. And I was building a career, it was great. I had a boyfriend, and like the house, and 3 cats, and 2 cars, and all the thing. But I wanted to travel the world. So I told him, like, hey, I want to do this. I'm now under 30, and I want to go to Australia. That was my biggest dream, always. And you can get a working holiday visa as a Dutch person. And like, I want to go. And he's like, why? It's like, why not? We can do this. And he's like a top-notch videographer, like feature films, everything. It's like, dude, you can film. I can hustle. Like, I can sell anything. I didn't know. I just always make stuff up. We're a great team. And I never heard about, like, location-independent entrepreneurs, remote working, digital nomads. But I had this vision, and he didn't want to do it. And I'm like, I love you so much, but I will never forgive myself if I don't take this opportunity now. I broke up, a lot of heartbreak, many hearts broken, but I had to do this. And I moved to Australia, and I started backpacking basically there and working different jobs as waitress and stuff, and traveling around. And then I realized, wow, I want to have this lifestyle. I want to be able to just go
wherever you want.
Yeah, wherever you want, whenever you want, right? With whomever you want. So you can go, maybe like people have holidays, they can go wherever they want, but not whenever they want, or, you know, with whom. And then like a very clear thing came in my mind. I didn't know what it was again. I never want to ask a boss anymore, can I have a holiday? I need to find a way. I didn't know how, but like to be location dependent, basically go whatever I want to do. And then I realized, like, people make money online. And I worked in Australia also for a travel company, and I started helping them with posting in Facebook groups to find travelers. And I found out I'm super good at it, like mega good. My copywriting, I don't know, I never learned it or so, but I can really talk, like the way how I'm speaking now, I can type like this. So it's very personal, like, hey, I'm Michelle, I'm traveling, la 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 la. I'm looking for people who, you know, do also this. And I started a journey because of XYZ. And I attracted so many people. And I sold like 20K a week for that company. But I didn't get anything per se for it. Like, I could travel for free. And I'm like, hello, I want commissions and stuff. So then I realized, like, oh, wow, there's money online, all these things. But I stopped working with them. And I thought, okay, I need to, you know, create something for myself. And I literally Googled, a lot of people probably do who want to be location dependent, how to make money online. Right? I don't know if you ever done, but like a lot of people do, like they want to be location dependent or a digital nomad. And I saw a whole list of things that I could not wrap my head around because my background is not tech or digital marketing and stuff. But I found digital marketing, and then I found Facebook ads. And I literally followed a YouTube video on how to build Facebook ads. And at the same time, like, I am pretty, how do I say this? I don't think things well through. I just do.
You're very, like, impulsive.
I'm very impulsive. Very, very. And which is, like, many times just good because I make stuff happen. but sometimes also not. Now I get better in business. I'm like, doing it. I'm like, fuck, I should have like, calculate it. But I just did it. And then while I was watching a free YouTube, I don't know, channel about building Facebook ads and doing ad campaigns, literally when I was learning, I just put online in Facebook groups, hi, my name is Michelle. I'm a digital marketer and I'm training my skills in Facebook ads management and building campaigns. I'm looking for local business owners, and I was in Cairns in the north of Australia, who want to get more leads. You don't have to pay me for my services. The only thing I ask you is to pay for the ad budget. You can put 100, you can put 1,000, and if I increase your budget, basically your money, you have ROI. The only thing I ask is to write a testimonial or do a video testimonial review. Within 30 minutes, I got like all these me, dentists, hairdressers, all local businesses. And then I just randomly picked 3, and I had no clue what I was doing. I don't know. I never touched the Facebook. I was like, I got it. And I was like, okay, because I learn by doing. I can't study. Well, obviously I can study, but I forget. When I read a book, I need to implement directly. Yeah, very practical. So I did it. I brought results. And then these people started hiring me.
Amazing.
And I was like, I'm making money online. Look at me.
Yeah.
So then what happened, I started doing that and I found out very fast, it's very isolating because it's you and your laptop. You can work in beautiful destinations, but it's like you the whole day grinding on a screen and that you're not part of a team anymore. You don't have consistent friends around you. It can be very isolating, or in the evening you go out to meetups, but it's not like you don't have really a belonging. You're not part of a community. And I started feeling very lonely. And then I just posted on Facebook in Backpackers, Australia, whatever. Hey guys, I'm Michelle, and I'm an ambitious traveler. That's how I called it.
Yeah.
I travel the world, and I have a laptop, and I have clients in digital marketing, and are there any other people? And there was like 4 people showing up, and they came to my house, all with their laptop, and I've never met people like me. Like now it's a whole trend after the pandemic, right?
Yeah,
like
people,
it is. Location, they want to work in Bali, and all these
Yeah.
things. I never heard of it. That was unseen. And then I met the first people who were like me. And then someone told me, but you are a digital nomad. I'm like,
What does that mean? Yeah.
You know, and like, yeah, you work online and you travel and all these things. Like, oh, so I started Googling it. Wow, there's people like me. I didn't know. I want to meet those people. So then I found out Bali is a very big hub. I moved to Bali. I made it. I thought I made it. I lived in a beautiful, gorgeous, entrepreneur villa house. And I met incredible people from all around the world. Then I realized again, like I was behind my laptop, grinding. In the evening was partying. I was here at a meetup. But it was nothing into depth conversations. Like, what are you actually building? What are you struggling with? Who do you need to get to the next
All
step?
surface conversations.
Exactly. Like, okay, maybe what do you do? Oh, cool.
Great.
And then, we go out.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? And of course, these people have more conscious lifestyle. So you had deeper conversation for sure with the people from back home and the regular job. But not like really into depth understanding, okay, what are you building? And how can I support you? At that time, I was developing also my skills in building websites. And I got like WordPress and stuff. I got like stuck and I didn't know how to solve it. And I started like looking at Facebook groups and Googling, and I got miserable. I felt bad that I didn't want to do it. And then I looked around me and like, how is it that I live in an entrepreneur villa and no one is asking each other really for support? Why am I looking online while we have the people here?
Yeah.
And then I started asking for help. I got the help. And then I had a conversation with a guy, with a web developer, Sam. That's kind of like how this journey also started. I asked him, I was like, what do you exactly do? How does it work? How do you make money? And what are your challenges? And then he said, okay, working online and traveling place, it can be lonely. And indeed, the conversation that we're having now and really supporting each other is not so much. And I was like, interesting. So I'm not the only one feeling this. And I felt guilty because when you have a beautiful Instagram, you live in you look over a rice field and you go surfing in the morning and you're making money and all these things. But I felt empty. I literally felt empty because I was not for me, like I think like adding value to people's lives. I'm very like as a social worker and a teacher, I like to help people. And what was I doing? Like Facebook ad campaigns for aircon companies to help them make more money. You know, like wow, this is not fulfilling me. And then I started talking with more and more people of like, okay, what are your challenges? And I interviewed about 40 people, and I found out almost everyone was struggling with the lack of community, but also into depth. And when it comes to business and mindset, really sitting down and taking time and talking about it and also connecting each other. So in that time, it was very interesting. In that time, I started hearing all different stories and industries. So I spoke with people who built e-commerce. I started speaking with marketers and people in crypto, everything you can imagine. But then I started automatically build connections. So when I met someone who had an e-commerce store, and then I met a marketer, SEO expert, who was like SEO expert specifically for e-commerce, I'm like, hey, you should talk with this person. So I started connecting people, and I saw like how they appreciated it. And I felt so happy and fulfilled. Actually, I was like, wow, it's still that helping people, but then not the people where I'm from, the environment I'm from, and they're like in a very bad situation, but these people already picked themselves up. They have this lifestyle, but they want to go further. And I'm like, something happened within me, like, wow, this is so cool that I can talk to all these people and I can help them. So I stopped what I was doing. I thought about the digital marketing. It's like, I can do this further and further, but I'm not sure if this is going to make me happy. And I went offline for a few days, and I want to do the Ikigai. I'm not sure if you know the concept, Ikigai, right? It's like for the people who don't know, it's a Japanese concept where you can find what is your core purpose, right? What do you like to do? What are you naturally good at? And what does the world need? Also known as like how to make money, right? What can you monetize? So I wrote it all down and all these things about myself and like entrepreneurship I love the traveling, I love mindset, I love community, I love education, I love facilitating people. And then this thing came up like, why am I not doing something that all these people seem to need, that I need, what I love to do? And doesn't like I don't need even have to put any specific energy. I need to create something for people like myself. And then we started basically with my co-founder back then, my company, or our company then, and we first went into a travel company. So it was a combination of like a traveling mastermind. So we drove from Lisbon to Rome, for example, very cool, 21 days, every 2 days in another villa, and then doing like adventures and then talking about business and helping each other. And we did 4 of these editions, and then the world locked down, COVID.
Yeah.
I was totally fucked. I was not making money online because like I sold online, but I didn't have a digital product. So my business was getting paid by trips and travels. And then I lost everything, literally everything. We made some money, we were fully bootstrapped, and in that time it was very stressful. And then like me and my then business partner, like we got a bit of a conflict. And we decided to break up at the end, but I continued to pushing this concept forward, but then without the travel aspect, but put it then in a container of all these workshops together and have a 1 week long program, like a growth accelerator retreat or mastermind retreat. But I didn't know the word retreat, and it like now it's very trendy. Like working online and traveling the world, but then also not so much. So then people saw what I was doing, and they're like, but you do retreats. Like, do I do retreats? Yeah, you do retreats. Like, great, I have a retreat business. Like, a lot of people desire that. Actually, I meet a lot of people. It's the dream to many people. I don't know. And then I had a retreat business. I just rolled into it. It was never really the intention to do what I'm doing today. Everything just flowed in this direction. And now, like, what is flowing out of here is me realizing how good I am in connecting people. I'm like a real connector, networker, and I'm shifting now more towards becoming really an introduction and network club. So now I have an online community, which is not connected to my current brand, but which is called The Inner Circle. because many people ask me that know me and from social media, oh, Michelle, you have such a great network, or you've been building things like this. Can I pick your brain? Can you connect me to this person? Can you get me on a podcast with Kira? Right? They would see that and they would ask me. And it was like, we could not manage the amount of requests getting in anymore. So then I was like, okay, how can I productize this so that I can help as many people as possible? So I created an online community for that where we can help more people. So I'm more shifting towards that model.
Amazing.
And then really introducing people. So let's say you would join, then we would onboard you and we ask you, okay, what are you building? How does it look like? And what or who do you need? And based on your answers, actually today my team is now working on a matchmaking.
Amazing.
So let's say you would be in the network. You get a list today like, hey, Kira, you're now building, I don't know, like a podcast, social media business. And I know that you're looking for videographers, editors, entrepreneurs to have in your podcast. You should talk with these people.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So that's now what I more do for a living. And also more high-end introductions for my more higher-end clients. I don't share that actually anywhere online. There's no page for that. But when I see that people do projects of 7 figures and up, and they tell me about it and they want to get more opportunities or leads, they ask me, hey, can you get me into this company? Can you get me into Google? Can you get me into... And I know now ways
to do that
in a very organic way.
Amazing.
Very organic, very natural. No like hacks. It's
Yeah.
just me talking to people and getting people in the craziest places.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Incredible.
Yeah, thank
I think
you.
it's very important as well, because I think obviously as a digital nomad, the stuff that you've brought up is you're going through all of these challenges. Yes, okay, maybe Instagram looks amazing and you're living this incredible life,
Exactly.
but it's very true that I think that you can find yourself feeling a little bit lonely.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, not just digital nomads, but there's so many people in general that feel that as well and need that connection. So I think if you're a facilitator of connection and putting the right people together, the impact that you can have on their lives is just, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, do you have any stories that you're able to share with us of maybe like an example?
Well, if you have 6 more hours, more maybe we can say for a week. Like transformational stories
I mean,
for
amazing.
People.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many. Okay, like I will give you different personas.
Sure.
Because we have a lot of different levels coming in for us. So we call it like the escapers, the builders, and the leaders.
Okay.
The escapers are people like kind of like escaping the 9 to 5, leaving the known behind. And building their own business or a new lifestyle. So they're learning and they're growing. Then you have the builders, so let's say like a 6-figure business. You know, they have some revenue, they have some cash flow, but they need to learn more how to build the right teams, the processes, the systems that you need in order to grow and to scale. And then the leaders, like let's say at least a 7-figure business up, or people who already sold their businesses, exited. They are like in that category. And then we have all these different levels coming in from people who also work in corporate but want to do their own things, or people who are freelancers, want to build really a business. So I will give you from different personas, for example. So let's say, a lady, Sylvia, for example. She is for sure a leader, I would say. I met her on another entrepreneur retreat, and she worked for a very, very known, I cannot mention the name, but a very big tech company, a SaaS, and she was the director of programs, sales programs. So a very well-known company. She is kind of like an executive level in that sense, and she made a lot of money. She is a real estate investor. She became a very good friend of mine. When I met her I met her on another entrepreneur retreat, and I ended up sharing the room with her. Yeah. And she's like, I think like 8 years older than I am, and way more wealthy and all figured it out. All these things seemed like she was very burned out, very very miserable. She was like crying every day and stuff. And I'm looking at her like, wow, she has so much money and so much certainty, and like has 5 cars and 6 houses and all. I don't have that, but I don't feel like that. Like, what is it worth, right? So it was very interesting, and I spoke a lot with her about it, and she was so stuck to her identity, like, okay, I'm an executive in corporate or in tech, a woman in tech, that she didn't dare to shift away from it. So I knew her for a year almost, and she was already thinking, shall I join your retreat? I was like, yeah, of course, you're welcome. And then she joined, and in that retreat, she discussed that situation, and our whole group helped her actually to make the cut and say, like, I need to choose for my health. I need to choose for my happiness and my future, and create a new identity, and do something which is very scary, leave corporate or the certainty, let's say, right? And she did that after joining us, and then
Amazing.
she started like her own retreat business. She's coaching people now. She's helping other people to invest in real estate as well. She has a course, and so like even on that level, like a big transformation, because she was so stuck, like, this is it, and I'm going to be miserable for the rest of my life, right?
I do have a I though, because I feel like a lot of people, I mean, burnout is like a buzzword.
Yeah.
Everybody is like, I feel like at some point everybody experiences burnout at least once in their life.
Yeah.
And I think the situation that you've described for her was that she just felt like this was who she is, and you know, taking that leap can be really scary, especially if you don't know how to take that leap. So for people, and I think that, you know, with what you're doing and connecting people, and I love that you've got those different kind of, I wouldn't say categories, but like escapers and builders and leaders.
Yeah.
I think it goes to show that a lot of people are trying to make that move.
Yes.
But for people that are watching, that are thinking like, wow, I want to be a digital nomad.
Yeah.
I want to be traveling and making money, but I don't know how to do that. I don't even know where to start, or if I'm capable of doing it.
Yeah.
What exactly would you tell them?
Yeah. Well, first of all, like, digital nomad does not exist. Because I get many messages, how do I become a digital nomad? Or get a job as a digital nomad? Digital nomad is not a job. It's a lifestyle, right? So you make money online that allows you to work remotely, to be a digital nomad. So you need to understand, if you want to be location independent and make money from the laptop, let's say, you need to have digital skills. Like, if you're not an investor or you don't know real estate, and you want to, let's say like me, you were a teacher and like, I have nothing. And she's like, okay, I can buy a laptop and figure it out. You need to understand, you need to have skills, very simple, you can do on the computer. Actually, almost everything that people are doing in the office
isn't on the computer anyway.
Is on the computer. So if you don't have any skills yet on the computer, you need to learn one of those, and you need to understand how that works. And for me, that was like another world. So the skills on the computer, that will make you be able to charge people for that work, right? So I would highly recommend, if you don't know how to do it, first, like, enter a group of people who's already doing it. Because you can read all these articles and watch maybe YouTube videos. It's great. You can watch this interview. That's great. But when you are surrounded with people already doing it, like, you're having this conversation, and now I get it. It goes faster. Okay, so I can make money by, I don't know, copywriting or writing emails. Do you know someone that needs someone? And maybe I can do a traineeship. Things go so much faster, and you get it out of the concept and the idea into reality. So a first tip is, like, you know, like, understand what skills you need to develop online, or what work you can do online. And then surround yourself with people who are doing it already. Meet those people, or if you can't meet them, set up a call or ask for a consult, maybe, you know, pay someone to really give you good into-depth advice. And then also understand there's different ways of making money online. So you can be a remote employee. You can work for a company. You can be on the payroll, and that allows you to, like, we don't care where you are in the world. Do it from the beach, Yeah, do it from the beach, whatever. So you can be an employee. You can be a freelancer, so you're self-employed, and you find clients, right, that you sell your services to. Or you can become a business owner, where you build your own, like, really product or service that requires you to have a team and more processes in place to serve more people than at once, because mostly it's like a freelancer can only handle a few clients, right? Like your time is limited. But as a business, you can handle more people because you have a team behind you. So people also need to understand, like, are you an entrepreneur or not? And there's no right and wrong. So I think I've seen in my journey, there's a big misunderstanding, I think, about what is an entrepreneur, right? You can be entrepreneurial, but it doesn't mean that you can build a business and that is the best for you, because some people are not happy with it because it's very stressful.
It's very risk.
Oh, it's so stressful.
Yeah.
It's so like, you're trying to figure it out. And if you have zero experience like I had, you really have sleepless nights sometimes. So then you can also think like, okay, why would I build something from scratch? Why am I not supporting someone who already has built it? And I can, help that person grow, and I can just like get a salary. That's great.
Yeah.
Like I never intended personally to have a business or build something, but I knew I wanted to have this lifestyle. I wanted to bring people together like this. I could not find another business who was doing what I was doing. Maybe if I've met someone back then like me, I'm like, hey, let me help you. You're doing all the groundwork. Let me support you, and pay me for that. So I think it's like really good understanding, like, are you resilient enough, like for finding your own clients, figuring things out by yourself, and then also the finances.
I was just about to say.
The finances, like I would not recommend people always directly to quit their job and just jump in. I did it. I'm still alive, obviously.
That impulsive coming through.
I still do things very impulsive. I personally put myself in a situation that I don't have any choice anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, now I have to do it. Like I yell it out the roof, I'm gonna do this, and then like, oh shit, I need to deliver. But not everyone can do that. And if you don't deliver, that's a big risk. So when you're gonna do that and you don't have a paid client or job yet, like have really financial backup. Don't go only with $1,000 with a one-way ticket somewhere. I did that. Again, like I managed, but I've seen also a lot of people coming into a very stressful situation, and then they gave up and went back to their old way of doing and working, because they were in such a bad situation that they never had the chance to
live it through.
Exactly. And when you're in lack of money, you're very stressed and you make decisions very emotionally. You cannot think things through. So like, make sure that you have a financial backup. Like the digital skills, financial backup, community, like people. But everything is about people. Like surround yourself with the people that, like the type of people that you want to become. If you want to be a top athlete, why are you hanging with people who are eating at McDonald's, right? But if you want to be mega wealthy, if that's really your, like the goal, hang with those people. If you want to be like, I don't know, make money with yoga as your passion, hang with the successful yoga teachers who figured it out. So understand what you want in life and put yourself in these situations, because you get exposed to what you need to do to become that version of yourself. Yeah.
Beautiful. And I'm glad that you brought it up at the end, because right in the beginning we talked about how important an environment is.
Yes.
And how it really shapes you.
Yes.
You've given us the example of like your childhood and how that shaped you, and how you're trying to create now environments for people to grow as well. And I think that's really important. I think not enough people pay close attention to their environment. I think like they might feel like a sense of obligation, or well, these are my friends, I've known them for such a long time, how do I just not be friends with them anymore?
Exactly.
So I think that paying more attention to who you're with and who you're around is really, really important. And I think, again, what you're doing is so special. I mean, the impact that you're creating. I mean, think about it. I was saying it earlier. You put two people and connect them together, and that just causes a ripple effect, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, I think that's an amazing thing to do.
Thank you. It's like every day I wake up I'm like excited. I'm like, SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Annoying in the morning, like, I'm ready. I'm like that.
Yeah.
Because I know I will meet interesting people, and I know I will connect interesting people. And I believe in karma in that sense, because when I do good, or even though I have periods that I don't really make money, or like then I make more money and then not so much. But I know what I'm doing today will always come back
100%.
positively. And I'm really happy that you said it about like being conscious about your environment. A tip that I could give also to people to how to do that, because that is, people hear that probably, and you hear also that quote, like you're the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with, right? And people read those things and they continue scrolling.
Yes,
or they
exactly.
Continue their life, but do exercises. And one thing I would for sure do, if we're talking about those 5 people, literally make a list of the people that you see the most. So who are you hanging with? Your partner, your whatever, your friends, your family, your neighbors, whoever it is, your colleagues, and then write down like their values. How are they, like, if you feel within you, like, probably you won't do this if you're not ambitious or you don't want change, but the change that you want within you and the ambition that you have, how much of that do they have? How much are they doing to get there? Are they doing what you want to do, right? If the answer is no, interesting. Okay, how can I change this? And then the process comes with you. So like journal, write, and explore things about yourself. And be curious. Be really curious about everything that there is in life, because it's one big playground, and it's up to you how you climb it or not. Yeah.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
Michelle, I've had such an amazing time talking to you.
Thank you.
I've really enjoyed this.
Same.
I think obviously I knew kind of the background of what you do and how you're helping people, but I think your why really just takes it to another level. It's really special.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are going to, go to Michelle's retreats,
Thank you.
Join her inner circle. But I think that what you're doing is really important. And it's inspiring to see someone who's doing what they love every single day. Every day.
Exactly.
Amazing.
It's possible.
It is possible.
It is possible. Really.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Gladiators, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. I think for me personally, what I've learned is doesn't matter what your circumstance is, what kind of environment you grew up in, what environment you're in now. What matters is whether you want to change it and what you want your future to look like. And I think Michelle is living proof of that. So I hope that there were so many different things that you could have. I'm sorry. There were so many things that we learned during that episode, and I hope that once this episode is done, you go and apply it into your life. Start reflecting, start looking at the environment that you surround yourself with, and start making change. Gladiators, I salute you. Done.
You're so good.
Thank you.
It's amazing. Very cool.